I can't talk good, so I will add subtitles to the video. I was originally going to talk about the second story video about how modern schools make terrible writers deliberately, but the modern villains are pitiful and impotent was the one I wanted to. Crappy talk about it. I'm not good with this, nor like talking, but writing to me is special. I don't know about her to be honest, but this video comes off as if she just looked at the top instead of below to say. I hope you can enjoy my crappy video. I like the score. That is all.
Being said, villains, that is to say bad guys, have been experiencing a strange evolution in the last few decades, especially more recently. For one thing, they have become less and less villainous. Taking it further, they have become less and less evil.
Less and less villains. What are you reading/watching? The top 50 movies of the decades? I'm sorry, I can't talk. I'm very sorry. There is so much writing out there to be found. Here's some I can think of on the top of my head that I can remember. Oh my god, there's gonna be too much subtitles for this. Lamb from BioShock 2. She took kids from the surface to bring back down to the city of Rapture, to bring it back to life in her own image. She took kids. Innocent kids. Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. He is a dick with a god complex who wants to rule every realm. Yeah. That guy from the darkness. I don't have any videos of it, so enjoy the second game. The main character saw his girlfriend murdered by his step-uncle, I think. So he goes after him. That's all I have. Heck, the main character from Hatred. You play as him, doing evil things like killing a bunch of innocent people. Oh my god, I gotta add that to the subtitles now.
The point is that modern fiction writers have arrived at a point where the concept of evil has been rejected as non-existent.
Who decided that? Like seriously, who is considered modern writers? And why did you decide that I, as a person who wants to write a book, still need to work on it, had rejected evil and decided that evil doesn't exist? You do not speak for me and all modern writers, ma'am.
Very telling when people call him relatable. If you want someone else's opinion besides my own on that one, you source maniacs, try C.S. Lewis's preface to Paradise Lost.
Source maniac? Is that a joke? Next clip.
Bad decisions, you become a bad person. Bad has a way of metastasizing into the rest of your character. This used to be frequently depicted in children's stories with ugly villains. It conveyed to children that evil is a thing that poisons the entire person. You can ignore.
Okay. Keyword used. We've been taught not to judge people by their looks, for it is wrong and is called discrimination. I understand you're talking in story writing. I remember one story that did that. Ish. It's called Beauty and the Beast. You all know it. She's ugly, he said go away, she turned beautiful, he begged for forgiveness, she turned him into a beast, then everyone in the castle, who mind you were probably innocent and had some kids in it, into furniture. She is evil.
Is bad. Objectively. Something you can't escape if you're trying to study literature or write in current year is this maddeningly slippery concept of postmodern everything. Postmodern heroes, postmodern plot structure, postmodern character analysis, and of course included in there is also postmodern villains or even postmodern evil. Relegated.
I don't even know what that is. I'm not smart enough to know that stuff. Yet.
Of course, included in there is also postmodern villains or even postmodern evil. Relegating this to study in some dusty library somewhere is one thing. Postmodernism is interesting and has its academic merits, but the concept of postmodern villainy has bled into and saturated popular culture. In fact, I would say that we're now living in the moral and narrative wasteland that is inevitable in the wake of totally embracing literary postmodernism. This is like postmodernism. So now we come.
Too many big words. As I said in the previous clip, I'm not smart enough to know enough to touch this. I'm not even gonna fix that.
Totally embracing literary postmodernism. This is like postmodernism. So now we come to it. What is evil?
Depends on who is defining it. I might actually delete this part, maybe.
The reality is that, in a sense, there is no such thing as evil. Stay with me. Good is a thing, good exists. Evil, properly speaking, is defined as an absence of good. This is nice because here you can get your degrees of evil. However much good is absent results in a greater or lesser degree of evil. This is what gives people this idea of gray areas. I hate that term because it muddies the understanding of good and evil. Good is an absolute. It can never be great, but it can be absent to varying degrees, according to this philosophical understanding.
A few things.
Evil, properly speaking, is defined as an absence of good.
So, is space is evil then? I mean, it doesn't have any good out there. Yeah, I know, my sentence makes no sense. But for real, that sounds like a Christian argument. Me doing nothing doesn't make me evil. It's just a neutral act. When World War II happened before USA was forced to join, did that make them evil then?
This is nice because here you can get your degrees of evil. However much good is absent results in a greater or lesser degree of evil. This is what gives people this idea of gray areas. I hate that term because it muddies the understanding of good and evil. Good.
Gray areas. It's called being human. Tell me you had seen those posts of people killing other people in the name of good. Or how he was a pedo, so he deserved to be murdered. So many people say it's okay, or the ones I see the most, politics. I've seen and heard evil things from people in the name of politics.
Good is an absolute. It can never be great, but it can be absent to varying degrees, according to this philosophical understanding.
What does that even mean? I'm not a smart or intelligent person. I'm a dumb person. But I got time to think about stuff, and I don't even know what that sentence means. Good is absolute. Like what? It's the best thing ever? Dumb it down for me, please. It can never be great. I don't even know.
Let's move on. Of course, the unfortunate byproduct of this philosophical foundation is that it presupposes the existence of objective good. Although, if you don't believe in objective good, that means it's not possible for there to be an objective absence of good. Which means good and evil are whatever you define them to be. Which means there is no good and evil. Which means you can do literally whatever you want and no one has the moral right to stop you. So I guess that's nice for you. For the rest of us,
this part reminds me of a clip I saw like 4-ish years ago. Here.
You think I'm a liar just because I'm an atheist? No, I'm not calling you a liar. I'm calling you wicked, evil, greedy, depraved, envious, murderous, deceitful, malicious, a slanderer, a gossip, a god-hater, insolent, arrogant, boastful, an inventor of ways of doing evil, disobedient to your parents, lacking understanding, and incapable of fidelity, love, and mercy. That's all I'm saying.
Don't worry about the atheist part, but her saying all that reminds me of that. Like, because you don't believe objective good, it means you're a monster and a horrible person. She went straight to the dark side instead of people, not acting like animals.
according to writers these days,
According to writers these days. Again, who are these people? Are you just taking 5 to 6 book writers and saying they speak for all writers?
only modern socially appropriate way to approach the villain is to apply one or more of the following postmodern principles of morality.
Postmodern principles of morality. Again, big words.
First, you can make the villain sympathetic. Because, he's not actually a villain, he is just the victim of current year social constructs. Or you can make him a symbol for modern acceptable social evil, whatever that is.
So, you're telling me I can only write those type of villains?
Whatever happens to be big and trending on social media as the big bad guy. It's worth noting, from time to time there's also a third option, the one in which the villain, was right all along and he just went about it the wrong way.
Stop with the attitude, okay? Please.
Done right, this is the only variation on modern villainy that's even somewhat tolerable. It's
somewhat tolerable? You mean for yourself? I don't see no facts behind that sentence.
just basically never done right.
Never done right? Or do you mean that you couldn't come across one? There are so much stories out there. I highly doubt you read them all. Had an entire paragraph for a example, but it sucked. Too many stories out there, not enough time to read them all.
Example might be Thanos from the Marvel movies. Throughout the lead up to his climactic introduction, he was the ultimate terrifying evil force bent on probably some kind of universal destruction. When at last we got to know this character and his motivations, we received the combined force of postmodern villainy and emotional morality. Firstly, he was made to be compelling by showing him perhaps loving his daughters, perhaps not, perhaps even being a little benevolent. Then, when he presented his case for wiping out half of the universe to save the other half, it was hard to fault his logic.
Hard to fault his logic? No, it's not. I remember when I first heard it and I thought to myself, that is a stupid reason. He's just putting tape on a bullet wound.
Or at least the morality of his motivation as it was presented.
Or at least the morality of his motivation as it was presented. What morality? That killing half of life forms could be a good idea? What he is doing is evil.
Here's the issue with all that. It's fine to make your villain sympathetic. It's fine to give him compelling motivations. But if the writer doesn't understand morality and good and evil, all of this falls flat. With Thanos,
doesn't agree with your morality, you mean?
the writer went too far making him compelling and understandable. So far, in fact, that for the final film, he wasn't scary anymore. He was just this guy holed up in some backwater shack.
He did what he set out to do. He is done. And now it's relaxing. He made sure they couldn't undo what he has done.
Because he's not evil. He makes moral sense to some degree, which negates his villainy because it's too much good. Couple that with an overabundance of sympathizing, and now he's not entirely wrong and he's not really hateable. Audiences will subconsciously cease perceiving him as villainous or evil, or even just scary. This is partly an outcome of being unable to morally commit to something. The writers couldn't bring themselves to 100% say Thanos was morally wrong, because that would, suggest that there is such a thing as moral wrong.
He genocided so much life. I don't need the writers to shove down a message down my throat with their hands.
So they had to leave themselves an out, a little coward's escape hatch, Oh, well, maybe he had a point. I don't know. Who am I to say? Cowards. Listen.
Fuck you. That is all.
Understanding the core concept of evil is the first crucial step in building a villain who isn't just memorable, but who is also true to the parts of life that are absolute and that resonate with every person. That's the kind of villain that stays with you. That's why Sauron is frightening to us, but Paul Spector or late series Hannibal Lecter is bizarrely not really. Because
those 2 points are your opinions, to be honest. I haven't read The Lord of the Rings yet. I am reading the Gears of War books right now, so I can't comment on those villains to say.
Because evil is more than some postmodern English lit major's meditation on what's wrong with society. Evil is a definable, objective idea, and we all know it deep down. Maybe it's time to stop pretending that evil is just a social construct and let bad guys be bad guys.
Never mind. Fuck you on that one even more. Let's break it down. Do you call a cat evil for playing with its food? Do you call it evil when a lion tiger eats another animal? Dolphins, from what I remember, are considered the second intelligent animals on this planet, but they are still animals no less. I remember learning what happens when a male dolphin wants to mate with a female dolphin, but she already has eggs. You know what happens? He finds them and he destroys them. Back to the lions again. We know about the alpha stuff. You know what happens to the alpha kids when he gets his butt whooped by another who wants to be the new alpha. He kills the alpha kids. Do you consider that evil or Mother Nature? Good and evil is a social construct. I don't believe in God anymore for a long time, but I always remember a certain commandment: do not kill. Now I gotta write like 15 more. Fuck. Animals do not care about good or evil, only to stay alive. Do you think a baby knows what good and evil is when they are born? No, they learn it from other people as they get older. What do people do when their dog poops in the house? They force the dog's nose into the poop, or in worst cases, abuses them. Like how Hassan abuses his dog to stay in the same spot for hours on end. The dog wasn't born with that knowledge. It was shoved down the dog's throat by force. So yeah, it is a thing. Look, from this point on, there won't be no subtitles because I'm saying this without a script to say, so forgive me for that. But writing is special to me. I first got into writing back in Drew after some stuff, and I still remember the first story I ever wrote. It was called The Evil Walk. What was it about? Cringe. Technically, it wasn't good. It was crap, and I destroyed it out of frustration for something, but I wish I never did. Anyways, so when I'm basically being told that my writing is crap because I don't have good morality, or it's crap because I say so, I mean, I said that, but still, you can get the gist from it. It feels disheartening because as a guy who wants to write, I want to get better. So I, as anyone else does, look up how to get better. And I try my best to take the criticism and what can write, get better at. But when I saw her video, I don't want to say demoralized. It made me feel like I didn't want to write no more. Like just to delete everything I had ever written from Drew and just don't bother. And I shouldn't feel that way, but it's just her video made me feel like that. Now granted though, you can also say I should be throwing my feelings out. Yeah, I agree. She does have good points though, I would say that. I don't mind learning about stuff. Matter of fact, I don't know what video it was, but it had one of the videos comment section had that possum video guy. Makes good videos. He has an attitude, but he makes good videos. And I can learn from him. I can tolerate his attitude, but I can learn. You, on the other hand, I can't learn because it feels like you are full of yourself. It reminds me of this Netflix show. I don't know the name of it. Basically, a guy wanted to be a writer, but because his father was a murderer, he was afraid. So he got into writing, and he was surpassing this one writer who just wrote and wrote and wrote, but he wasn't writing with love. He was just making a profit from it. Sorry about that. It's just, it reminds me of that. Like, you don't, I mean, you probably do white with love, but it's a toxic love to say, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you what you're whiting is wrong, or why your villain sucks. I mean, it sucks, but oh wait, I can edit this all out if I need to. What I'm trying to say is, whiting is hard. Making it believable is much harder. So I'm just gonna ramble about some stuff now from this moment on. Thanos. Thanos is a stupid villain. His reasoning is stupid. Do I believe what he's doing? Do I believe what he's doing that he thinks is right? Yes. Do I agree with him? No. Because he's wrong and he's just dumb. Like, let's talk about that for a moment. He wants to snap half of existence. What is considered existence? Life forms? If so, do you know you have cells in your I'm sorry, bacteria. Bacteria is in your body. Sorry, moving my mic. Yeah. I'm gonna end it here quickly. So I had some other things to talk about, so I'm gonna talk about it here. Spec Off the Lines. You play as I don't know his name, Marshall, John, freaking. Actually, give me a second. Okay, Walker. You play as Walker, and throughout the entire game, you keep going straight because he wants revenge near halfway because he found out the person he idolized was evil. Oh shit, I forgot to put spoilers. Well, anyways, it turns out that the person he blamed for all this was dead. And he did all this stuff just to find it out. Yeah. Anyways, next on this, Neo. Fucking Christ, I literally wrote "Oh God" on it. Well, let's just talk about Neo Replicant and Neo Kashort and Neo Automaton. No one is a good person in these stories. I'm just gonna leave it there. Next one, Halo. No. Gears of War. Oh my God. Let's talk about the Gears of War. No. There's too many. Let's end it with one last one. Alien Isolation. Who's the villain? You can say it's the corporate, but it's the freaking 80s. I don't care, man. I'm talking about Alien Isolation. Yeah, I'm cutting this part out. Bye. Lamb from Bioshock 2. She took kids from the surface to bring back. Fuck! A few things. 1. Evil is the absence of good. So is fuck. 1. Evil is the absence of good. So is space is evil then? I mean, it doesn't have any good out there. Yeah, I know my sentence makes no sense. But for real, that sounds like a Christian argument. Me doing nothing doesn't make me evil. It's just a neutral act. When World War II happened before USA joined, was 3. Good is absolute. It can never be great. What does that even mean? I'm not smart or an intelligent person. I am a dumb person. But I got time to think about stuff, and I don't even know what this sentence means. Good is absolute. Like, what? Is that even best things? Best? What the fuck did I type? Don't worry about the atheist part, but her saying all that reminds of that. You mean reminds me of that, me? Don't worry about the atheist part, but her saying all that reminds me of that. Like, because you don't believe objectively good. Objectively? Doesn't morality to your understanding, you mean? What the fuck does that even mean? Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. He is a dick with a god complex who wants to rule everyone. Fuck! Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat. He. Who decided that? Like, seriously. Who consider Oh my god. Keyed wood. Wait, why did I wrote key? Keyed wood used. We've been taught to not judge people by their looks, for it's wrong and it's called discrimination. I understand you're talking in story writing. I remember one story that you... Keyword used. We've been... Fuck. Keyword used. We've been taught... Oh my fucking... Why is it so hard to fucking read? A few things. 1. Evil is the absence of good. So if space is evil, then? I mean, it doesn't have any good out there. Yeah, I know. My sentence makes no sense. But for real, that sounds like a Christian argument. Me doing that... What the heck did I just write?